Breaking news coming out of Tehran. Earlier, we had news of an explosion that had rocked the town of Malard. In recent updates, the IRGC confirms the explosion at its military base west of Tehran. Up until now, there's no word on what caused the explosion, but reports say it has left an unknown number of casualties. We'll have more updates on that story as we get it.
Wolf. And what about that explosion we heard about in Iran near a nuclear facility, Brian? I know you're working on this. What do we know? What happened?
There were various reports that an explosion occurred yesterday in the city, in and around possibly the city of Isfahan. There were reports in Iranian media of people hearing it, feeling it, but then those reports were pulled from Iranian websites. Iranian officials now denying it ever happened.
They damaged a key nuclear facility in the city. Isfahan is known for its uranium conversion plant, which has been operational since 2004. At first, Iranian officials deny the reports.
We've got Iran's uranium conversion facility. We've got some pictures of it here. This is where they make uranium hexafluoride, the main feedstock for centrifuges at another key Iranian facility. There are some pictures of inside that facility. The other key facility we're talking about is Natanz. Going to go in there on a map. And what's significant about Isfahan and Natanz is where they make highly enriched uranium, which is used to make nuclear weapons. Iran denies trying to make a bomb, but both these facilities in Natanz and in Isfahan, Natanz about right here on the map, are under surveillance by the UN's nuclear watchdog. When we contacted them, the IAEA would not comment on any of this, Wolf.
There was also, Brian, another mysterious explosion in Iraq just a couple of weeks ago. What do we know about that?
That's right. A massive explosion at a military base west of Tehran killed at least 17 people, including an Iranian general. Now, this is a ballistic missile factory operated by the Revolutionary Guards. New satellite imagery from the Institute for Science and International Security shows us the extent of the damage. We got a slide effect here that will show you. This is before that explosion happened. Look at afterward. You can see all the buildings destroyed, all the debris, again, before and after. This was just a couple of weeks ago. U.S. officials have told us, though, this was likely an industrial accident, but two mysterious incidents a couple of weeks ago at this facility and then yesterday in Isfahan, raising a lot of questions about what's going on in Iran right now.
As far as we understand, the number of casualties have been reported, and the death toll is expected to climb. Many victims are still in serious condition, as the Red Crescent is on scene trying to conduct a search and rescue. Now, this military base is well within the mountain area of this village outside of Tehran. This is the first time a blast of this scale has taken place in the Islamic Republic.
So what does this mean for us? Let's bring in John Bolton, the former United States ambassador to the United Nations and a Fox News contributor who joins us every Sunday at about this time. Good morning, Ambassador.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Well, you know, Israeli President Shimon Peres says an attack on Iran is, quote, closer, and he says more and more likely. Do you think it will happen?
The answer is yes, they will attack. As in the past, they attacked Syria's nuclear reactor in September of 2007 and Saddam Hussein's nuclear reactor in 1981. And let me just say, this is not hard for Israel at this point. We know where the facilities are, the uranium conversion facility at Isfahan, the uranium enrichment facility at Natanz. Isfahan is on the surface and unprotected. Natanz is buried, but IAEA inspectors have been all over it. This is within Israel's capabilities. Certainly it's true the United States could do it better. And what's also true is the more time that goes on, the greater the likelihood Iran will disperse and better protect additional duplicate facilities, which is why, in my opinion, Israel is going to need to strike soon and, in fact, should have struck long ago.
What if the Obama administration is against it?
Well, I think it'll be tough for the Obama administration. Israel's not going to ask our permission. The fact that Panetta couldn't get a straight answer is no surprise. It's been true for a long time. Israel didn't ask permission in September of 2007 before they struck that North Korean reactor in Syria. We'll know about it when bombs are falling on Isfahan and Natanz, is my judgment.
So you don't think that Jerusalem is going to give us a heads up?
Absolutely not, because they know that the consequences would be that under this administration in particular, it would simply give the White House advance notice and time to prepare to impose our own sanctions, as we have been implicitly threatening the last 3 years, not to rearm Israel, not to resupply them for planes and other equipment that will inevitably be lost if the Israelis strike. But remember, the alternative is not life as it is today. The alternative is Iran with nuclear weapons. So if you don't like Iran as it is today, imagine how much worse it would be once it gets nuclear weapons.
Well, speaking of Iran today, let's take a look at a second at Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. When he sat down with me last year, they have always denied that they're pursuing nuclear weapons. They say they're doing this for electricity. Here's what he said when I asked him. Would you swear to Allah that you are not planning to build a nuclear bomb?
Is there a law that says I must swear to convince others? I have said on numerous occasions that we do not want an atomic bomb.
Well, it's always, who, us?
Yeah, well, there you go. What else do you need to hear, right?
Among the dead was the man officially described as the architect of Iran's missile program, General Hassan Moghadam. The huge blast to the west of Tehran was felt in the capital. The authorities say it was an accident, denying suggestions that it was sabotage. The American magazine Time believes differently. It spells out what Israeli media have hinted at, that this was the work of Israel's Secret Service. Speculation about an imminent attack on Iran's nuclear facilities has intensified after a UN watchdog effectively said Iran was working on a nuclear bomb. The EU is poised to back more sanctions.
The IAEA report has confirmed what we have always said about Iran, that there is a nuclear weapons program being conducted there, that the activities of Iran cannot be reconciled with the purely peaceful development of nuclear energy.
Reports say Washington is already gearing up for an attack. A Scottish newspaper, the Sunday Herald, says hundreds of powerful bunker buster bombs are being shipped to a military base on the British Garcia Island in the Indian Ocean. It was also used by the US for strikes against Iraq during the 1993 and 2003 Gulf Wars. Some experts say American bombers would be capable of destroying around 10,000 targets in Iran in just a few hours. But former Chief of Staff to Colin Powell, Lawrence Wilkerson, said that any action would spell disaster for the US military machine.
It would be round-the-clock bombing. It would be the Air Force and the Navy from carrier battle groups in the northern Indian Ocean, and there's your biggest indicator. If 3 carrier battle groups gather in the northern Indian Ocean, then we're there for business.
法新社则说，中国支持伊朗从伊朗购买大量的石油，同时中国也是伊朗最大的交易伙伴，两国间的贸易总额达300亿美元。美国之音报道，据中国海关资料，今年伊朗可能成为中国第2大原油供应国。说中国不惜3次世界大战保伊朗。
张召忠说这种就不惜就是打一场第3世界大战了，那么我觉得就完全为了自己国内的就是一个政治的需要。